Welcome back to Brighter Rays. This week we were looking at a study in Genesis chapter 49 called Jacob the Prophet. And today we're wrapping everything up. So before we leave our father Jacob here for the last time, let us think about some of his last words. Specifically, I want to focus on the phrase, "I wait for your salvation." Jacob greeted this promise from afar, as that's what Hebrews tells us. The parade of the king had broken on the horizon, right? He could see the king from afar. Jacob could hear the trumpets blaring in the distance. He awaited the salvation of God in anticipation. He shared with his sons and all of his spiritual children that they were evil. There were some evil days ahead. But the king would come. And he did. The long-awaited one took on flesh and dwelt among us. Jacob would say, "I wait for your salvation." But many years later, an old man named Simeon, who was waiting for the consolation of Israel, the salvation of Jacob, saw the infant Jesus and exclaimed, "Lord, now you are letting your servant depart in peace according to your word, for my eyes have seen your salvation that you have prepared in the presence of all peoples, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and for glory to your people, Israel." To Jacob's people, to Jacob's family. The promised king, the Jew that would be from the tribe of Judah, that the scepter would never depart. That salvation, "Oh, I wait for your salvation," that salvation had come, and it was in Jesus Christ. The salvation is here. The salvation is now. But he will also return. So the question for us is, are we waiting for the return of the King? Are we waiting in anticipation for his coming? Are we hoping that he will come soon? If we don't think about it, then we're not where we ought to be. We need to be thinking about his return, no matter how it is. Despite your eschatology, whatever view you have of that, we're all waiting for his return. That is Orthodox Christianity, that he will return bodily, physically upon the earth, and his kingdom will then finally be complete. His kingdom is now, but it will be complete then. So are you waiting for the return of the King? I hope that you are. And so come back next time and we'll look at Genesis chapter 50. Finally made it to the end of Genesis. It's been pushing 2 years that we've been working through this. But we finally have made it to the end of Genesis. And so next week we'll look at that final chapter of the story. So come back next time.